Hey now, everyone! Matt Haywood from EntertainmentBuddha.com, and I'm here with my friend Keith. We're about to do a kind of an opinionated Buddha-cast, Buddha-tube-cast, if you will. Buddha-film-cast, maybe. Who knows? It's going to be a cast of some sort. And we're here today to talk about the, I guess you almost have to call it controversial new trailer for Batman v Superman that released Wednesday night on Jimmy Kimmel Live. So I think it was Monday. We got a tease of it. It was almost a full clip from the movie, and that we can kind of touch on that too, Keith. I don't know if you watched that.
No, that works for me.
And then Wednesday, the full trailer released, and it sure was full. I mean, it was full of spoilers, and it was it was 3 minutes long.
Yeah.
I mean, so that's what we're gonna focus on. This, I guess we'd call a special edition Buddha Tube film cast, OG style. How's that sound?
Sounds like a plan.
Good enough. All right. So yeah, like I said, Matt Haywood here, the creator and entertainment officer of Entertainment Buddha. Then we got Keith Mathias over in Maryland holding it down. He's a rock star. He's a photographer. He's a literarian. That's not even a word, but we'll say it. Yeah, we just made it up. It's in the English lexicon now.
Yeah, man.
So how's it been, dude? It's been a while since I talked to you. Doing all right?
Yeah. I mean, it's good. Things are good. Things are busy as shit.
Yeah, it's that time of year.
Yeah, as you know, being a fellow educator of the college variety.
Yes, we are professors, everyone.
Yeah, no. It's cool. It's cool. It's one of those like, hey, it's the last week of the semester. And I have like all of the papers that I assigned.
Trust me, I don't envy you at all, dude, because I couldn't imagine what's like the score in English class, especially. I'm assuming they're like term paper style size. Or...
I broke it down a little bit. They're a little bit shorter this time around because there's like more than one of them.
Okay.
So I'm like, I go through the entire semester and it's like, oh fuck, I have to grade 30 like 15-page papers. Like, no, I'm not trying to do that.
Yeah, no way. No, mine's more automated, and then some of it we have to actually write out pseudocode. I have to check that, but it's pretty easy.
Nice.
So. Anyways,
yeah,
let's talk about the fun stuff.
Let's do
the
it.
Reason we are geeks. So yeah, like I said, we got this major Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice trailer. I will forever refer to it as BVS for the rest of this cast because that's a mouthful.
Yeah, man.
But anyways, it came out. Obviously, I stayed up to watch it, threw it up on the site right away. But by the time I got to the end, I was like, holy shit. They literally just covered all three phases of a traditional movie plot arc, if you will. I mean, there was you've got the introduction of the two main characters, where you have Clark and Bruce meet.
Yep.
You see the middle part where obviously Lex is kind of, I'm assuming, working behind the scenes to kind of put these guys at odds. They have their scuffle, and then lo and behold, Lex pulls out Zod's cadaver and somehow turns it into Doomsday. And just as the heroes are about to get wasted, or at least Batman, I love how he puts his hands up like that's going to stop anything. I mean, Batman, in my opinion, would just sit there and be like, okay, I'm going to take it, and just like fucking eat it, right? Like, he's not going to sit there and try to like block it like a little pussy.
No, man, he would have a plan to...
Yeah, right, like an ejection seat that wasn't there, but somehow he invented it while he was, locked up. Who knows? But anyways, as soon as they're about ready to get blasted, lo and behold, who shows up? The Amazon woman, Wonder Woman, and she blocks it with some sort of magic shield, and then all of a sudden it looks like they're all teamed up and buddy-buddy. It's like, well, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. There's Batman versus Superman in 3 minutes. I mean, To me, I feel like it was the Cliff's Notes version of the entire film.
Yeah, seriously, dude, it was like you said, they had all three acts of the movie in the trailer, and like each act gets its own minute. So you get your exposition, you get your rising action, then you get your climax. And
see, I knew you'd know the proper terms from that.
I figured that we should throw them in there. But it's just I don't have much of a problem with, like giving a basic outline of the way something is going to go, but that's just too much. It's just too much. We have it's literally every major plot point that exists in BVS.
Yeah, and some people are making excuses for it, going like, well, rumors have been out there forever about Zod and Doomsday. It's like, well, yeah, they're rumors. That's why they're called rumors.
Yeah.
I mean,
You don't
are
confirm
they
them in the
probably
trailer.
true? Yeah, maybe, but don't fucking drop that load in the trailer.
Yeah.
I mean, unless some of this speculation out there, and one guy used to kind of write for us, he's a comic book guru, he said, too, he said, I saw some other things that are hinting at a bigger reveal, and I'm going, I'm not a super duper DC or really comic book reader in general. I don't know what else that could be, unless they're going to somehow tease, like we were talking before we went live, a Darkseid or maybe a Joker somehow. I mean, I don't know. I mean, what else could they reveal?
I don't have a single clue what else they could possibly reveal. I mean, they do have that the Jason Momoa Aquaman thing kind of in their back pocket so far.
Yeah, I mean, is that? But we know that's going to happen. But really, is his on-screen appearance? Are you going to be like, "Oh my god!
Oh my god, it's fucking Aquaman!
Aquaman!
Oh, and he's talking to the fishes. Oh my god, that's so cool.
Oh my god, it's called Drogo reincarnated as Aquaman."
I mean,
it's just I don't know.
I don't mean to crap on Aquaman. From everything that I was told, his New 52 relaunch a couple of years ago was fantastic. But he's Aquaman. Okay, whatever.
It's an odd character.
Yeah,
I mean, it's an odd one.
But
Has Marvel copied him? Because they've pretty much copied
they
all
had
the other
Namor,
ones.
Prince of the Sea, I think.
I mean, how does Marvel get? I guess just back in those days, was there not copyright, trademark? I mean,
They were kind of just getting around some things.
I mean, they literally, and when I was playing that stupid ass mobile game, it introduced me to even more characters. Like, there's one guy, he's a dead on fucking Superman clone.
Yeah.
I forget his name. It's like Fusion or Mr. Nuclear or Nova or something. I have no idea his name, but I mean, he's dead on Superman clone. I mean, their Batman's almost like the Black Panther type of guy. Oh well. So yeah, back to the trailer. Definitely is just like, what the fuck? I mean, was there a point to that? I mean, the whole point of trailers, and really, I expand upon this in my editorial if you guys care to read it after listening to us yap about it, but the point of a trailer and the marketing team's job of releasing these trailers is to get people excited to go to the movie, to go spend money. So why do you need to show all of the major stuff? I mean, I don't get it. It's BVS in the first place. You're going to have a built-in fan base regardless.
Yeah.
Even people that might not have liked Man of Steel are still going to go and flock to the theaters within the first week, first night to go watch this movie.
I think it looks like a steaming hunk of shit, but I'm going to go see it because it's fucking Batman.
Exactly. That's my point. I mean, that is my point. Regardless of even what people think it's going to be based on this new trailer, we're all still going to go. So I don't know why they felt the need to jam all that in. I mean, how much say do you think Snyder has in trailers?
Oh, probably not too much.
You don't think? Which is a shame, because you would think the guy that fucking shot the film probably sat in the editing room to put it together should have some input on what a trailer should contain.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know too much about how much input directors have on their trailers.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's an interesting thing because I mean, again, this is what these guys do for a living. They tell stories with moving images, and they know how to shoot it. They know how to edit all those shots to make it look like a coherent, fluid piece. But they're like, oh, hey, we'll just condense the whole movie into 3 minutes and release it as a trailer to get people stoked. And
True.
I think it's almost having the adverse effect where, you know, people like you or me, like, man, that just blows everything. I'm still going to go, but it's like, there's nothing really that's going to surprise me anymore. There's also people going like, oh, my God, Doomsday is a joke. I fucking hate Jesse Eisenberg as Lex. Why would you show it to me? I mean, and they're already writing it off, so it might actually be a go against them for showing so much. I guess I just struggle to wrap my head around why the hell they decided to run that thing.
I mean,
I don't know.
DC's always kind of been a little bit tone deaf with regard to like the stuff that they should be doing. And a lot of their like really big ideas have a tendency, especially recent years, have a tendency to backfire. Like I mentioned the New 52, which was that was like a 2011 relaunch of all of their major franchises, and it was an enormous failure. Like there were basically two good books that came out of it, one of which was Batman and one of which was Aquaman. So
yeah, because I remember at that point in time, like, you know what, I'm gonna get on this comic thing. They're rebooting it all. I do enjoy DC. I mean, Superman, Batman are my favorite by far. And I jumped in the Justice League.
Oh my god, that was
terrible.
terrible.
I went through like the first 6 series run. I'm like,
it was so
didn't
bad.
go back to it. I did the Superman one, and it literally within 6 issues it bounced so many like completely different arcs and threads. I just like, what the hell is? I mean, shouldn't these be somewhat, like shouldn't there be continuity going on here?
Yeah.
I mean, it just felt like it was a brand new story with each magazine. Where I've actually gotten into all the new Star Wars stuff. I think most of those are actually pretty great.
And that's over at Marvel.
Right, and they follow an arc. I mean, there's a true beginning, middle, end to each run. I actually need to get caught up before the movie comes out. But yeah, so I get what you're saying on that. And honestly, we're kind of hammered on this trailer, but if you think about other big properties, especially comedies, even if you think about the Avengers Age of Ultron trailers from last year, it's just like a new thing in general in Hollywood for bigger movies to show some of the biggest moments from the full-length film in the trailer.
Yeah. Here's a question for you then. Do you think that maybe this is a trend that, at least with regard to superhero films, that's like people are it's just a reaction against people's waning interest? Like, are people getting so like, oh my god, it's another superhero movie, who cares? And they're like, okay, well, we have to do something to get people super excited. Maybe. I don't know.
No, I mean, hey, I guarantee some white guy in a suit, white woman in a suit, sat around the table making tons of money going, this is what we need. Hey, we've been reading these forums.
We need to put Doomsday.
Yeah, they don't know what's going on. Show them fucking Doomsday. Or, you know what? They're talking about maybe Zod's alive. Fuck it, just show it. Who cares? Jesse Eisenberg's not really Lex Luthor. That is Lex Luthor. It's really Lex Jr. Luthor. And he still has hair. And Jesse Eisenberg really looks nothing like Lex. He's tiny, and he should have never been cast. But let's fucking cram him in there and have him act like he does in pretty much every film he's in. I don't know. It's very odd. And what makes it even more glaring of an issue, and I think you have a point with the comic book movies, it's like, we know people are coming regardless. Let's show them as much flashy shit as possible, and maybe that'll either drive the hype, or even if people hate it, maybe that'll still drive hype.
So people can hate watch it.
Yeah, exactly. And that's really, I mean, that's how we are as geeks. We're a very weird bunch. Regardless of what we're geeking out over, we typically like to hate stuff that makes us happy.
Yeah.
It's almost like hating the stuff makes us happy. At least me, I guess. I mean, maybe I'm talking about myself, but
Good. Let the hate flow through you.
Yeah, so what I want to bring up now is like, okay, so we have this major trailer for a major pop culture franchise. They showed a ton of footage. We don't know why they did it. And it definitely has people talking about it, so I guess the marketing team did their job. I mean, it's definitely lived past Wednesday.
Yeah.
It didn't just air and like, oh, that was cool, blah, blah, it's gone.
To be fair, it was also significantly better than the first really just awful trailer that they put out.
Oh, the first one was just the way it was cut.
It was
you were
so
like,
bad.
What the fuck is going on here? I mean, is this like 8 different movies in one? I mean, what are we
Honestly,
doing?
it looks like It just, yeah, it looks like 8 different movies. in
Okay,
one.
while we're talking about weird stuff, what's your thought on the clip we got Monday
Okay.
that was also featured? I mean, is that a dream sequence?
Dude, it has to be. It has to be.
Because Superman looks like he's a fucking a villain. I mean, he comes down there, he's got his little dudes bowing to
He
him.
looks like an evil alien overlord.
Yeah, and he's got that scowl on his face, and what kind of gave it away to me that it can't be real is when he approaches Batman, the look on Batman's
Yup.
face is
Yup.
oh shit.
Batman
I'm
does not
fucking
have that
scared.
look on his face
Yeah,
ever.
Batman doesn't flinch. Period. That's why I said when he was gonna get blown up, he should have just sat there and ate the fucking nuclear bomb coming out of Doomsday's eyes because he doesn't get scared. I mean, that's his thing. He is the one that puts fear into people. He does not fear anything. I mean, obviously, he fights a god. I mean, the guy has no fear.
Yeah.
So, and it's, I mean, does Superman really even need to remove the cowl to know who he is? No.
Yep.
So, and if you looked, and I threw up some stills today when Batman's outside fighting in his big, duster, and he's got the Superman dudes on him. If you look, there's like fucking things flying, and there's people saying those are called parademons.
Huh?
Does that ring a bell to
Nope.
you?
But then again,
guess they're-
I'm not the kind of person who has sat and like delved into the depths of the DC multiverse.
Yeah, let me pull it up on the magic Google machine
Yeah,
real
man.
quick.
But okay,
Yeah,
while
right.
you're doing that, let me riff a little bit on. So like Batman's also in that weird sequence. It kind of looks like he's wearing a trench coat.
No, totally. That's what I
Or-
said. He's
oh.
wearing like a duster.
Oh, a duster. Yeah, sorry, derp. Why? Why?
Exactly. And here we go. As soon as I search parademons, first thing, what are parademons and why they matter in relation to BVS? And right here, the first line, parademons are the foot soldiers of the space tyrant Darkseid. So that's it.
Okay.
He's going to be the guy. There's the big reveal.
Well, we're blown.
Yeah. I mean,
Cool.
it's like, so that they're probably blowing that too. Or maybe it's a dream that Darkseid, who the fuck knows? I don't
Yeah.
even, I'm not going to try to figure it out, obviously. Who knows?
Well, this
But that's
okay.
what
So
they
this
are.
is basically just turning out to be the anti Marvel Cinematic Universe movie.
Well, yeah, it's like let's hit fast forward on all these separate threads
Yeah.
that probably should get their own development and just bam, now we got Avengers.
Yeah, now we had like with Marvel we have like what 15 movies building up to Thanos.
I mean, dude, it took almost 3 years just to get to the first Avengers
Yeah,
movie.
yeah.
I mean, I think the first Iron Man came out 07 and
2008.
Avengers was 2010.
Yeah.
So 2 years. And by then you had almost 4 or 5 individual films to establish the characters. I mean, when I first heard BVS was a thing right after Man of Steel, I'm like, what?
yeah.
I mean, how do you not like have another Man of Steel where you just barely established the character of Clark Kent and Superman and Man of Steel?
Yeah, seriously.
I mean, at the very end, he becomes the Clark Kent we know him to be. Literally, the last scene.
yeah, right.
And it's like, yeah, we're going right into this team-up movie all
Yeah,
of a
and-
sudden that's going to lead right into Justice
Well, and
League.
like the entire world suddenly, worships Superman. Like how long after Man of Steel does this take place? Because
Exactly.
yeah.
Well, if you look at some shots, there's a shot of Metropolis, and he already has this massive statue,
Yeah.
so it's got to be a couple years, you would think. And the most of the skyline you can tell is somewhat rebuilt.
Yeah.
And if you go back to Man of Steel, that city got fucking leveled. I mean,
yeah.
it's like a nuclear bomb went off, and it's almost built back. So who knows?
Sure, it's got to be at least a little while. Okay.
The other thing I want to ask you about, when they first meet, do you believe that they both know who each other are already?
Oh, Batman knows.
You think?
He's way too smart not to.
Well, it's just the way he talks to him. He's like, I mean, when he disses him, he's like, I'm tired of dealing with clowns in costumes or something like that.
Well,
And obviously dealing about the Joker, talking about the Joker.
Yeah. And I mean, that could just be some, super clever writing from David S. Goyer and totally subtle. Or, I mean, I think there's an extremely good chance that Batman totally knows. I mean, he can maybe, perhaps recognize Clark Kent when he doesn't have his glasses on.
Well, yeah, I mean, I've always loved that about the Superman Clark Kent dynamic. 'Cause it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah, I know. And
you've got this strapping young man with jet black hair, who's a fucking pimp, and you just throw on some thick glasses, and no one knows who he is.
Anywho, the silly point aside, I honestly, I mean, he is the world's greatest detective, and it seems like he's been a little bit obsessed with Superman, and
Yeah, well, because we know that he was in Metropolis when the fight went down, and like
Exactly.
his building got tore down, and I'm sure people died he knew.
exactly.
Yeah, he's probably been looking into him for a long time.
And Batman's just way too good not to have it figured out already. Superman, maybe, probably, I don't know.
You know what? I'm just remembering, like, the first scene is literally Bruce Wayne rolls up and Clark asks the guy, "Who's that?" Mm-hmm. So, like, I mean, maybe that's a ruse too, but I think you may be right. Maybe Clark doesn't know, but he does. The way he asks him about, "What do you think about the Bat Vigilante?"
Yeah.
like, digging at him.
I think it's just the fact that he's kind of a not terribly good reporter.
Okay.
It's just like, so what do you think about the Bat guy that's in your city?
Right, because, I mean, according to Bruce, he just writes fluff pieces about saving cats and all that stuff.
We all know that Lois Lane is the real journalist between those two.
Yeah, I mean, come on, Clark.
Jeez.
So the other thing in that scene, now, do you think Lex knows who both of them are when he, pretends like he didn't want them to meet each other?
Oh, that's a really good question.
Even when, Clark shakes his hand, he's like, "Oh, wow, that's a really strong
I
grip."
would
Almost
not
like,
want to pick a fight with that guy.
yeah,
Oh.
almost. I mean, I think Lex knows who they are. I mean, that's just my gut call.
Mm-hmm.
I think he knows who they are, and I think he's the one. Obviously, Bruce and Clark, they don't necessarily agree with their alter egos. You can tell just by that one scene.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's to the point where they want to kill each other. I think Lex might have a, kind of a hand in that.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I'm reasonably sure that Lex is the driving force behind the conflict between the two of them.
Yeah, and then obviously we know he's going to be the creator of Doomsday, which completely breaks canon from the franchise. Because, I mean, I don't know much, but even I know that Doomsday did Zod create him, sorta.
I don't know. And here I'm just betraying some flaws.
From what I've always understood about the origin story of Doomsday was that he is a somehow Kryptonian or something like that. Or like he spawned in the Phantom Zone.
Okay.
And he would just get killed over and over and over again to toughen him up. Like every time he was killed by something, when he would come back, he was then invincible to it. And I guess that the logic was to throw everything possible at him so he was supremely invincible to anything, and then could take down Superman.
Interesting.
Which we know he did at one point in time, and then Superman came back to life and all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
So. But hey, that's the beauty of comic books and none of this stuff actually being real.
Yep.
You can do that shit. So. But back to the trailer and its spoilers, and the point I made in my editorial, it's like, okay, yeah, this is a huge property. You don't really need this. People are going to go see it anyways. But there is this other slightly larger property that's going to be releasing in less than 2 weeks that I think has done a masterful job with trailers, and that's Star Wars The Force Awakens. I mean, at this point in time, we have, give or take a few, 4 major trailers. Around 20 TV spots, and you still don't know what the fuck is going to happen outside of a stormtrooper lands on a planet called Jakku. He meets a scavenger named Rey. They meet a guy named Han Solo and Chewie. They leave to run away because this guy Kylo Ren's probably going to hunt them down. And then somewhere in between, there's a bunch of ships and lightsabers and shit like that. I mean, they made those trailers. Of course, they have the benefit of John Williams' score, which is just going to make anything sound better and get the emotions flowing. But like I said, they've released so many trailers and showed, sometimes new footage in each and every one. But I think they do it in They break the chronology. I mean, I think they're just dropping scenes in wherever they feel like
it's much more of a tone piece than it is. This is what the movie's going to be.
Exactly, which I think has
has.
been brilliant. And when I asked you that question about, do you think Snyder is involved? I still don't know if JJ is involved in the trailers, but I did see yesterday James Gunn. He answered the same question someone asked him, like, dude, I mean, what about these spoilery trailers? When you did Guardians, did you have any say? He's like, really, the marketing department puts it together, but they did run it by me before it went, live. Which I mean, I guess that's respectable. But yeah, so it's like I don't know. I mean, I got more and more excited every time I saw a new Star Wars trailer, where I feel like now, the next time something BVS comes out, they're gonna be
Well,
like,
how are they going to top the Doomsday reveal?
right? It's like I don't
Yeah.
need to watch anything else.
I mean,
it's
you
like,
never
I
know.
don't
They
need
might
it.
show us Dark Side. In the
Yeah,
like
there
this
you
will be
go.
the final trailer. And Dark Side comes on. He's like, I'm going to kill you. And that's it. I don't know.
Is his name? Is it Dark
I
Side or
don't
Dark
know.
Seed?
I think I've always said Dark Side.
I mean, you're the English guy. It's spelled SEID.
yeah, that could be Seed, Side, Sade, said. Depending on aid. I don't know. It's comic books, man. Spelling doesn't matter.
Well, yeah,
Yup.
that's why we love them, man. That's why we love them. It's all about not real life. You know, we live real life every day. That's why we need these
Yep.
escapes. That's why I've always, I'll go to a drama. Actually, that's a lie. I mean, the only drama I've been to the theater in the past couple years was the Steve Jobs movies, the recent one that I thought was a brilliant film, but it got ran out of theaters in like 2 weeks because it was doing nothing. I don't necessarily have a desire to go see dramas in the theater. I'm just like, who gives a shit? I mean, I can watch the news about people too, killing each other, or people getting raped, this, that, and the other thing. I mean, those are all the Oscar type of movies. It's one of these years you would love a film like Mad Max to take an Oscar
hope.
for like Best Picture.
Let's hope.
You know, I mean, that movie was just fantastic. I think it's the only one I gave a perfect score this season. But you know, it has no shots of getting probably any serious awards
any of the like the
consideration.
best.
Yeah,
Maybe visual effects somewhere, perhaps.
it
does.
deserves
It does.
something. Something. It just really
Yeah.
burns my ass. I don't know how we got on that tangent.
Yeah.
but-
Let's not talk about the Oscars
I
right now.
I save the dramas. I mean, yeah, I typically when the noms come out, if I haven't seen them, I'll order them up on Apple TV or something, just check them out. And I found some great ones last year. I mean, I love
Birdman's
Birdman.
so
I
good.
loved I love Theory of Everything. I thought that was really good. I forget what other ones I watched, but I watched most of the big ones. So yeah, well, I think we've kind of let the world know our opinion. Not that they probably give a shit. I'm sure most people agree with us. I really think that trailer, it just was too much too early. Really, just too much. Period.
Yeah, and I mean, like,
leave a little mystery behind it.
Yeah. And now we have what, over a year until the movie comes out still? No.
Oh no, it's March 25th.
Oh, okay, sorry.
March 20th. It'll be here before you know
that,
it. You know,
it's December.
Yeah. The older we get, the quicker time moves. There's no doubt about it. This thing will be here before I know it, because I know my kids are going to be here before I know it, and that's just
man.
life, you know? It's like, you remember way back in August, like, damn, starting another 16-week semester,
Yeah.
and what is it? We're done. I mean, it's funny how time truly flies. I'll never forget my high school calculus teacher, last day of class, going, yeah, the moment you walk out these doors and down those steps, your life is just going to zip by in front of your eyes. And, at 17, 18, we're like, yeah, fuck you, you're bullshit. I still got to go to college. I can't even drink yet. I don't have a job. And then, fuck, I'm 35, about to be 36. I've been out of high school for like almost 20 years. Jesus. Help
Or
me.
perhaps more
So,
similarly to what we've been talking about. Remember, what was it, 2 years ago when Force Awakens got announced? And
yes.
we're going to be seeing that in 2 weeks.
Oh yeah, I mean less than, dude. I got
Yeah.
Thursday night 7:30. I got a Friday 2:30 and a Sunday nooner.
You are not messing
I
around.
hope it's good. Well, dude, AJ, you know, he kind of helps every once in a while. He's doubling up. He's going Thursday night and then rolling right into the early Friday morning midnight, like IMAX,
Oh, God,
like back
wow.
to back. Yeah. So
Yeah.
he's got me beat there. But I wanted to see it in different venues. I mean, the first two, I knew I could get in. The reserved seats, 3D. The other one's on a super duper ultra screen with the Dolby
Okay,
Atmos
cool.
sound
So
system.
you're just bouncing around
Yeah, I'm like,
theaters.
well, I wish that was my first one, but I got to get it in all sizes, presentations, all that stuff. I mean, I'm so jacked for this. I'm beyond jacked. Every Friday night after the bar, I come home and watch all the trailers, and sometimes I cry. Sometimes I throw my fists up and cheer by myself. I mean, I swear to God, my cat thinks I'm insane. I know my wife thinks I'm insane. But there's just something about the Star Wars franchise that can tug on my heartstrings until I die. I mean, it's probably the bond with my father and the childhood and just, you know, watching those films and collecting the shit. And it got a little turbulent there from 99 to 2005, but I've kind of learned to get over that stuff and love my franchise again. And it's all because of the sale of the rights of Star Wars to Disney. I mean, that's it. They took it away from the creator, which I don't think he wanted anymore. Some people consider that the prequels like he was trying to kill his children. I think there's a term for that in the literary world where it's like you want to sacrifice something that was so great to you and something that you created because you almost like hate it for becoming so popular. But I'm glad he sold it. I like what Disney's doing. I mean, get ready, people. Star Wars is going to be shoved down your throat.
Yeah, that
for years and years and years to come. I mean, they're doing 7, 8, 9. Who knows? Maybe they'll extend that in the next 15 years to 10, 11, 12. But they're doing one-offs like Rogue One. You're gonna have a Han Solo, probably a Boba Fett. And I'm all for it because so far the way they've handled The Force Awakens, the way it looks, the way JJ shot it, the promotions, I'm just loving it. I have 100% confidence that this movie is going to own and it's going to restore the Star Wars franchise as the greatest modern work of pop culture fiction of all time. You heard it right here, people.
definitive statements.
Take it to the bank.
Boom.
If it's not, I don't know what I'm going to do. I might.
Yeah, if this is another letdown, I might cry a lot.
There's no way. There's no way. Even Carrie Fisher said she liked it, and she hates Star Wars.
And Harrison Ford said the same.
Yeah, and they both fucking despise it. I mean, I watched Carrie Fisher on Jimmy Kimmel with all the other cast members, and you could just JJ was just looking at her like, please don't say anything stupid. Please don't fucking spoil anything. Please don't talk shit anymore. I mean, she is just a loose cannon, but she's great. I mean, she's great to watch. I mean, she is literally off the handle. I mean, she is nuts, but I love her for it. So,
Anyway,
with that being said, I definitely want to definitely want to have a Force Awakens stroke off. Hopefully next week, people. So if I can get a team together, we're gonna try to, kind of have a big powwow about Force Awakens and gush about it and get everyone hyped up, get ourselves hyped up, and then hopefully having it pay off when the movie drops on the 18th, all that hype, so we can be vindicated and we can say we actually know what we're talking about here at entertainmentbuddha.com. So I'm going to
Sounds
lead
like a
with
plan.
that. Matt Haywood here, holding it down on Twitter at Matt R. Haywood. I'm on Raw Radio at Entertainment Buddha. I'm up to 1.1 thousand followers there. I love that network. It's the only social network that has understood my geeky brilliance up until this point. Plus this new Boxes Collectors app that I have. I'm like an instant celebrity of all my fucking toys. I mean, dude, within the first day, I had like 300 followers. They're like, oh my God, dude, your house is amazing. I said, yeah, well, don't ask my wife what she thinks about all that shit. So. But anyways, it's for real. Keith, anything you want to promote, say? You got any appearances coming up?
Not that I can think of. You can follow me on Twitter at KW Matthias, and make sure to check out entertainmentbuddha.com.
Word to that. All right, people. Hopefully we'll be talking at you within the next week about some Star Wars. Bye for